Let's move on to the next team, which is the risk rovers. Could you please come on to the stage?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. We are third year students from Computation Finance Department at NED University. Myself, Manal Shahid, our team led Ammar Sheikh and Zara Asim and Muhammad. So we are here to present our case study on automotive telematics and vehicle insurance. So our case study is divided into 6 segments. First, we'll be introducing our topic, followed by the problem statement. Then we'll be analyzing it thoroughly with the team's recommendation and a practical implementation plan. Lastly, the conclusion. So telematics is a technology that uses telecommunication and informatics to collect data remotely from vehicles. It offers various functionalities such as personalized insurance through real-time tracking driving behaviors and setting premiums based on usage. Seeing the market dynamics, we see that the auto insurance sector in Pakistan is slowly adopting the digital innovations, but there is a need of great awareness about the insurtech solutions to fully enhance the industry efficiency. Seeing the telematics products in Pakistan, we see that the companies that offer vehicle insurance incorporating telematics are very limited due to the fact that they lack awareness and they rely heavily on manual processes. We have products like 𝐒𝐭𝐫𝐬 Insurance has drive-through service, EFU and Salam Takaful has pay-as-you-drive service, Adamji Insurance has car tracker insurance services, and Jubilee General Insurance offers Jubilee Drive Tracker. So these telematics-driven solution provides personalized premiums, it enhances security, and provides incentives for safe driving habits. So here are the benefits of automotive telematics and vehicle insurance. First is reduced fuel consumption. So telematics leads to reduced fuel consumption by encouraging less aggressive driving behaviors. And the next is tackling fraudulent claims. So the companies in Pakistan suffer losses due to fraudulent claims. So telematics offer a solution to that by providing accurate data so that the insurers can verify claims and detect the fraud patterns. Telematics also provides incentives for safe driving by directly linking driving habits with the insurance cost. And it also provides personalized premium based on driving behaviors and usage. Lastly, it provides access to the underserved population as well by providing digital solutions. Now let's delve into the problem statement. So we were told to examine the impact of telematics in auto insurance industry in Pakistan and how these telematics data is used by companies to derive premiums and how it will impact the safe driving habits.
Okay, so moving forward, we have divided our analysis into 5 different portions: the market, the statistical, the mathematical, the computational, and industrial analyses. So starting from the market analysis, regardless of the fact that Pakistan has introduced telematics-based insurance policies, but upon studying the market, we got to know that the premiums of such policies are still market-driven. The impact of telematics data is not as significant as it should have been. Yeah, similar insights were gained from the South African region, where an underwriter told us that the premiums over there are also market driven. He used the terminology called the blanket rate is used for the premiums over there as well. So in comparison with the developed countries like the UK and the US, where the 3 most important categories, the life, the health, and the motor insurance, are streamlined and strictly implemented by the government, there are evidences found that the telematics data is used for premium calculation. However, the government of Pakistan has shown little or no interest in this sector, and to be very honest, the government itself is not the only one to be blamed. Public lack basic financial literacy. They fail to understand how important insurance actually is. This can be understood by the fact that last year, this data was given to us by an underwriter, by the way. Last year, out of 7 million vehicles which were either manufactured or imported, only 0.7 million were insured, and that too mainly due to the vehicle leasing policy. The overall insurance penetration rate in Pakistan is just 2%, which actually tells us what the condition of the market is. Now, there are various models through which you can calculate the premiums of telematics-based insurance policies. One such model is the pay how you drive model. We will be looking at the pay how you drive model. This model instills the idea of safer driving habits. Now, the main objective of this case study was to check how the telematics data is used for individual premium calculations. So let's see, next slide. Telematics collect variety of data sets, data such as the speeding frequency, hard braking, aggressive acceleration, smooth cornering. It also collects some categorical data and discrete data as well, such as the make model of the car, the usage pattern, the driving environment, the driving area, the mileage, and what more? The location, yeah. The higher the risk associated with each of the variable, the higher is the premium, and vice versa. The lower the risk, the lower is the premium. So we were fortunate enough to gather a dummy data from the market. Yes, I myself have worked in an insurance company before joining my undergraduate program. So I had my resources. Using the dummy data, we conducted some statistical tests. Now, it wasn't possible to show all the tests here due to time constraints, but I will be showing some important ones. The first statistical test was the correlation test. The correlation test was between three variables against the premium. The first two tests were the speeding frequency against the premium, and the second test was the aggressive acceleration against the premium. It showed a strong positive relationship between them. The next correlation test was between premium and smooth cornering. It showed a strong, but rather a negative relationship between these two variables. Next was the regression analysis. This was between mileage and premium. The test result concluded that a strong percentage of premium fluctuates due to the fluctuations in the mileage. Next test was the two-sample t-test, which showed that there was little to no association between the average means of the two variables, which were the usage pattern and the premium. The next test was the chi-square test, the infamous test of association. These tests were the first tests were conducted between the vehicle health and the premium, which showed a strong association between them. The next test was quite surprising one. I'd say it was an anomalous test. This test showed that there was no association between the driving environment and the premium. Then again, I said this was an anomalous test. So I'll be rectifying it later on, but for now, let's move on. The next set of tests was the analysis to the variance approach, the ANOVA test. So the premium of the daytime is relatively lower compared to the premium of the nighttime. Then the test between the location and the premium tends to be the lowest in the rural areas compared to suburban, and the highest in the urban areas. Now, using these statistical tests, we were able to derive a mathematical equation.
That's good.
Okay, so the betas over here represent the risk coefficient along each of the variable, except beta naught, which represents the base premium. Now, couple of important things I want to mention here. X4 variable is given a negative value, which was the smooth cornering, because the correlation showed a negative relationship between them. Then again, I talked about an anomalous test, which was the driving environment against the premium. Now, upon showing this model to an underwriter of a general insurance company, he actually suggested us to give it a strong risk coefficient. So the risk coefficient of the X9 variable is 300 upon the suggestion of the underwriter of a general insurance company. So these betas represent the risk coefficient. I already told you that. These values are our perceived risk. Now, please understand the fact that any insurance company can perceive risk individually or separately, differently. These are our perceived risk, but the idea behind the premium calculation remains the same. Okay, so then we tested our model using the MATLAB. We assigned the random variables according to the specific ranges of the variables, and then we displayed the values of premium, and the values on the left or your right represent the premium values. These values actually correspond to the values of premium that we had in the dummy data, actually proving our point that there was an association and the model that we had made or proposed was accurate enough. Next. And now, automation ka zamana, we are students of computational finance. We implemented the whole mathematical model in the computers, and this automated the whole process. Instead of manually calculating the premium prices, we just automated the process. You just have to input all the variables, and it will calculate the value of the premium for you. The source code was given to the BADRI management, and they have it. The insurance companies actually use this model. They have API integrated with it, and they have API integrated with a database management system, which automates the whole process of premium calculations. So I hope I was clearly able to deliver my point, and now Maham Hamid will continue the presentation.
Okay, so now let's delve into the industrial analysis. So here in this graph, we actually show the impact of telematics on the net premium within the insurance sector. We analyzed both the industry's motor net premium and underwriting results across various insurance companies in Pakistan, which showed interesting patterns. So initially in 2017, before the integration of telematics, the industry average of net premium was higher than that of 2022. However, following the integration of telematics, we observed a noticeable decline in the underwriting results, which actually indicated towards the reduced profitability. Yet, attributing this decline solely to telematics is complex, as it could be influenced by many other factors like increased claim ratios, the fluctuation in the number of vehicles insured, or other market dynamics. Therefore, further investigation is necessary to fully grasp this specific impact of telematics on the auto insurance landscape. Okay. Now for the challenges, you can see that we have tabulated them in three different aspects. For a comprehensive understanding, um, we also conducted a survey which highlights three main challenges, whereas it highlighted privacy concern as a major barrier to enrolling in telematics-based insurance. Um, Many respondents raised concerns about insurance companies monitoring their driving behavior and locations, interfering and invasion to their privacy. This further leads to concerns like cybersecurity risk, misuse of the data, and perceived lack of control over personal information. Then another significant challenge was the need for trust and transparency. Policyholders requires a clear and transparent communication regarding how their data will be utilized in determining premium, as well as how the data will be collected, analyzed, and applied. Then our survey also reveals some potential behavioral changes among Pakistani users. Many individuals perceive telematics-based insurance as a threat to their freedom or autonomy. Um, and again, the continuous monitoring of their driving behavior leads to resistance and reluctance to embrace this innovative approach. Now, moving on to the industrial challenges, we notice that one of the major industrial challenges here in Pakistan is integrating diverse telematics devices, which is obviously requires a significant amount of investment. Um, However, many companies still in Pakistan relies on older systems, which may not be compatible with the modern telematics solutions. Therefore, this disparity complicates the integration process, requiring additional resources and efforts to ensure smooth operation. The next challenge was developing a pricing model that accurately reflects driving behaviors and risk factors while remaining affordable for the customers and profitable for insurers. Along with that, risk assessment is another challenge faced by Pakistan due to insufficient amount of data on the driving behavior and accident statistics. This problem is heightened due to the diverse road conditions and different driving habits across different regions. Um, Now, moving our attention towards the general challenges, we notice that major challenges here in Pakistan arises due to the widespread lack of awareness among Pakistani drivers. Many individuals here in Pakistan have a very little understanding of insurance as a whole, viewing it more as an expense than a protective measure. As a result, they may not prioritize looking into options like telematics-based insurance, which could potentially provide them benefits like lower premiums and enhanced safety. Then, as we have already discussed, the low penetration rate, which is causing a significant gap in the market. One of the core challenges are due to the absence of rules and regulations um, in governing insurance practices and leaving consumers with a little incentive to invest in insurance policies for their vehicles. Lastly, economic factors have made it challenging for Pakistan to invest in technologies like telematics. Financial drawbacks forces people to prioritize their basic necessities over insuring their vehicles. Other than that, this is not only because of the lack of insurance adoption, but also because of the limited production of automobiles, which is further limiting the potential market for the telematics-based solutions. Now, Zara will continue.
Okay, so now we are going to further move our presentation. I'm going to be providing some recommendations. As you can see, for the recommendations as well, we have divided them into three sections, starting from the team survey recommendations. We conducted a survey and we saw that most of our respondents were concerned about data privacy and security measures. So there is a need to place a strong security protocols or technologies to protect the telematics data from cybersecurity threats. Similarly, most of our respondents showed that they were reluctant or they were concerned about how the insurance companies are using their data. Similarly, how they're protecting their data into their system or storing their data into their systems. So for this, firstly, we need to establish regulations for transparent data usage practices. This would enable the companies, the insurance companies, to be when the basically so when the regulatory authorities mandate the insurance companies, this would allow them to disclose how they use, collect, and share their data, which will ensure the consumers to be more aware of how their data is being utilized. Similarly, or secondly, we need to implement end-to-end encryption. What this will do, it will ensure that the telematics data is securely stored and transmitted. It will also lead towards so that the data is only given to the authorized parties, and exceptions may exist. Then we move towards the market recommendations, in which we thoroughly analyze the market. We talk to the market professionals, and from that we concluded that we need to implement a standardized premium pricing policy, as well as adoption of a single pricing model. What this will do, both of them will ensure consistency and transparency within the industry, and it will simplify the process for the consumers, and also the insurers could actually compete with each other on the basis of the service provided rather than on price variations. Lastly, we can see over here that we need a collaboration among insurance companies to establish a unified pricing approach. This is going to lead towards industrial development and best practices. And then lastly, we have our general recommendations. As for our general recommendations, we analyzed actually various case studies, and we studied articles, and from that we saw that people in Pakistan need there's a dire need of launching campaigns to educate the public about the awareness of telematics, how the devices are used, their benefits, and how their data is collected leading to premium computation. Similarly, we also need to encourage partnerships between automobile manufacturers and insurance companies. We've seen most of the insurance companies are reluctant to actually adopt the telematics-based policies because of the costly implementation of it. So therefore, a partnership would lead towards a seamless data transmission and collection. And lastly, over here, we need the government to support or formulate supportive policies or incentives such as tax breaks or subsidies, which will further enhance the risk assessment and pricing. Then we move towards further towards the implementation plan, in which the first one is over here. You can see investment in research and development. So we need to allocate resources for new technologies, methodologies, and approaches. This will lead towards creative and innovative products, streamlined processes, and better risk management practices. Similarly, we need to study the successful insurance mechanisms of developed countries. This will allow the policymakers to gain insights into how their best practices, their regulatory frameworks, and the technology advancements that they've done. As then again, when the government implements the subsidies, this incentivizes the private sector to invest in leading and successing developing insurance mechanisms. This actually counters the best practice, counters the risk management. Then we, again, to implement the awareness campaigns, we need a collaboration between government agencies, private sector and non-profit organizations. This will lead towards awareness among the masses. It will also increase the insurance penetration and financial literacy. Moreover, again, in terms of collaboration, we need an industry collaboration as well for the to enhance the actually premium computing technique. And what this will do will actually increase the underwriting accuracy and customer satisfaction. Then we need tax rebates, again, as we said before, for safe driving habits. And then government policy, we need to implement policies to prioritize the vehicle purchase of vehicles with a comprehensive insurance coverage, which is going to counter our road safety and mitigate the emerging risks. Then drivers training and continuous monitoring and evaluation of insurance policies, market trends, and the regulatory framework will allow us to actually identify the areas of development and also enhance our implementation, effective implementation actually. Then lastly, we have the incentivizing the adoption of digital insurance solutions, which is basically mobile apps and online platforms, which is going to increase the efficiency, the accuracy, the transparency. It is also going to increase the customer satisfaction, reduce the operational cost, and also lead towards better risk management. So in conclusion, we can say if we tackle the challenges and with these provided recommendations and implementation plan, we think that telematics in Pakistan could progress very well enough, and the market of telematics could be less. Telematics basically could be less market driven with best premium pricing policies. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Moment of truth. Everybody excited? Yeah. All right. Before I announce the first winner of today's event, I would like to have Mr. Ali and Mr. Zan to come on the stage first, so they can hand over the shields to our new first winner, and Mariam to come on the stage as well for the prize round. All right, would you like to guess it?
Yes.
Guess it then. Okay, I'm trying. All right, so here we go. The first winner of today's event is the Wrist Rovers. That's correct.
Great job.